Okay, 2 nights from now, New Japan's USA branch, New Japan Strong, has, I guess you could call this their first pay per view. It'll be available on Fight TV for $19.99 and New Japan World for $24.49. I don't understand that price tag, but that being said, let's run down this card. And it looks pretty good on paper. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 matches if you count the dark card matchup. Location, the Odeum Expo Center in Villa Park in suburban Chicago. 8 o'clock bell time, doors open at 7 Eastern. 7 and 6 p.m. Central, respectively. We'll kick it off with a dark tag team match. The DKC and Kevin Knight of the LA Dojo taking on Rocky Romero and Wheeler Yuta of Chaos. However, this could be a bit up in the air considering Wheeler has basically left Chaos of his own accord, and I don't know how amicable it was, and he's joined the Blackpool Combat Club for anyone who's watched AEW. He's now aligned with William Regal, Bryan Danielson, and Jon Moxley. And recently, he captured the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. Now, I've seen Wheeler in action a couple of times live for my local promotion, the Premier Wrestling Experience, and he's pretty good. But I really do like that Tony Khan has strapped the jet pack to his back, and he's going to take off. And let's see how he does in the AEW umbrella era of Ring of Honor, as the pure champion, and under the learning tree of William Regal with the branches of Moxley and Danielson. Rocky has been training these kids at the dojo as much as he can. But I don't know how well but given the defection from Chaos to the Combat Club, there could be a bit of a strenuous alliance between strain between Wheeler and Rocky. And it's something DKC and Knight could exploit. That said, I'm going to take Yuta and Romero to win this one. Though it's not going to be easy. These kids will give them a fight. Next up, 30-minute, 6-man tag match. The members of the Nightmare Factory, Nick Comroto, QT Marshall, and Aaron Solow take on New Japan LA Dojo grads, Karl Fredricks, Yuya Uemura, and Clark Connors. I am taking the New Japan Dojo graduates to win this one. There's not much to be said about it. It'll be a decent match, though. Next up is a 10-man tag match. Fred Rosser teams with Impact's Josh Alexander, Alex Coughlin, both of whom are LA Dojo trainees and grads like he is, and the former member of Violence Unlimited, the Dirty Daddy, Chris Dickinson. Now, of these 5, I'd say Alexander and Dickinson, along with Rosser, are going to be leading the charge. Their opponents, Team Filthy, consisting of Royce Isaacs, Jorel Nelson, JR Kratos, Black Tiger 7, and Danny Limelight. I'm actually going to take Team Filthy on this one because it's building up the Rosser Filthy Tom fight for the strong openweight title, where if Rosser loses, he has to leave New Japan Strong and never return. Basically, Rosser's career in New Japan is standing on the knife, and for the man formerly known as Darren Young, but still known as Mr. No Days Off. He's got nothing to lose and everything to gain in the next coming week, in the next couple of weeks. However, I think this is one match he could lose. Next up, a special matchup. Strong openweight champion Filthy Tom Lawlor, the leader of Team Filthy, who will not be putting his title on the line in this match, takes on Yuji Nagata, the living legend of New Japan. Blue Justice. This will be a hard-hitting match. Both men are known for their strikes. Both men are known for submission game. But the question is, does Nagata have the resolve to put it up? My opinion could be a probable definitive no. For that reason, I'm going to go with Filthy Tom, as much as I hate what the kind of a scumbag Lawlor is. Next up, a very interesting 12-man tag team match. It's Bullet Club against the United Empire. 6-on-6. Representing the United Empire, Aaron Henare. IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, Jeff Cobb and the Great O'Khan. I'll not go into that whole proclamation that happened just before the events of Hyper Battle, i.e. O'Khan saved a young girl from being raped or molested by a thug, and he got some positive notoriety from the press, but he's just expressing it more in a negative light. Talk about a guy who will only get the rewards of earth as opposed from the rewards of heaven. I.e., he's making a big deal over the fact that he saved a young girl, from getting raped. I mean, yeah, did he do a good deed? Yes. But I think it's better when you keep quiet about this and not make a big fuss knowing that you did good. To me, being a hero is its own reward. It's not about others knowing you did something good. It's about you and you alone knowing you did something good. That being said, the other half of the United Empire team, TJP, who threw the LA Dojo trainees and grads under the bus, and from Rev Pro, making their US debut, Kyle Fletcher and Dunkzilla Mark Davis, aka Aussie Open. Representing the Bullet Club, El Phantasmo, Hikuleo, Chris Bay, the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows, and the Machine Gun, Karl Anderson, and New Japan legend, who's going to be Bullet Club for at least one night, Scott Norton. Now, the Bullet Club team bugs me. Not so much with Norton, it's Hikuleo. I thought, spoilers for the Mutiny tapings, that after Jay White beat Hikuleo, he'd kick him out of Bullet Club in the same way he did to his brothers, GOD, who are now nestled firmly in the Hontai, the New Japan home team back in the core promotion. Instead, he's keeping them around, probably to subjugate Hikuleo, treat him like a whipping boy, which will push Tama Tonga's buttons so badly that he and Loa, along with Jado, will try to perform a rescue operation to get him out of there. If it means Tama Tonga's to come here to kick Jay White's ass to get his brother out, I'm all for it. It's probably that fact alone. I'm taking the United Empire to win this match. Next up, no time limit, Windy City 6-man street fight. Finn Juice, David Finlay, and Juice Robinson team with Brody King of the House of Black to take on TMDK, the Mighty Don't Kneel, consisting of Jonah, the top dog, Shane Hayes, and Bad Dude Tito. I know it says Big Dog Tito, but I screwed up in the description, but I messed up. Or Big Bad Tito, but I screwed up. I'll fix it when this video's over. We found out that Juice is letting his contract run out at the end of the month. He's still tethered to New Japan, but once April 30th comes and goes, he's cutting ties with the company. Where is he going to land? I'd say he lands in either Impact or AEW. And the same could be said for David Finlay, unless David wants to stay in New Japan Strong to help out his brother, his little brother, who's also a dojo graduate. So I'm going to say the group is called The Mighty Don't Kneel, and they're not going to do just that. My pick, The Mighty Don't Kneel. Jonah, Haste, and Tito to win this match. Next up, the USFJ Open Challenge continues. Jay White, the Switchblade, leader of Bullet Club, versus, well, we don't know who he's going to face. But whoever it is, I know he's going to beat whoever it is, unless it's someone that throws him for a loop. I'm hoping it's Tama Tonga, but odds are that's not going to happen. Same thing if it were Tonga Loa. Not happening. And let's look at the people Jay White has beaten since he started this Open Challenge. David Finlay for the Never title. Karl Fredricks. Fred Rosser. Christopher Daniels. Jay Lethal, Trent Beretta, Shane Swerve Strickland, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, Speedball Mike Bailey, and I'm not going in any necessary order here. Eric Young, Hikuleo, as I just spoiled the Mutiny tapings. And the only reason Jay's been in America for as long as he has is because he's stuck here due to visa complications with his Japanese work visa. He has to get a new one before he can go back to Japan. Anyway, I'm taking Jay White to defeat whoever it is. Next up. Oh, this is going to be a good one. We've seen it before in Japan. We've seen it before in England. Now we're going to see it in the USA. The Stone Pitbull, Tomohiro Ishii versus the King, Minoru Suzuki. Fresh off losing the Ring of Honor World Television title to Samoa Joe. Last night in New Orleans on Dynamite. These two are going to fucking kill each other. I am not going to lie about that. I really wish this match, I really wish Suzuki had won last night because then he could have made this match for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. Granted, they would have had to get Tony Khan's approval, but I think he would have gone along with it. If you had seen their battles over the Red Pro British Heavyweight Championship, or their battles in the G1, or their fight in the G1, you know these two will clobber each other. They're hard hitters. They'll come at you with offense you don't think for someone of their size. More so with Ishii than Suzuki. These are the most double tough guys beyond their 40s that New Japan has got. And my pick to win this one is a toss-up. So let's flip it to pick it. Heads, Suzuki. Tails, Ishii. land on my knee and slid off. But either way, it's heads. I'll go. I said Suzuki for heads, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. But either way, I'm taking the king. And the shouts of Kaze Ninare will start the match, and they will end the match. Suzuki-gun. Ichiban. Finally, our main event. First time New Japan Strong is going to have a match that'll go at maximum an hour. Jon Moxley versus the Commonwealth Kingpin. Old Billy Goat. Will Ospreay. The leader of the United Empire. Ospreay claims that Moxley has been ducking him for since 2019. The pandemic being an excuse to justify not bringing Moxley in Japan. And Will figures if he can't get Moxley in Japan, he might as well just go to America to draw him out. And that's what he's doing with this match. But given that Moxley has been back under the tutelage of one of his mentors, William Regal, don't expect the same Jon Moxley that showed up in New Japan in 2019 and start of 2020. This will be a far more vicious and more refined Death Rider. I mean, look at the style contrast between these two folks. On the one hand, you have Jon Moxley, a man that's spent the early part of his career in the Indies billed as a deathmatch militant with a bit of a technical and martial art and submission game to him. But more so, he was a brawler. On the other hand, you have Will Ospreay, a guy who started his career predominantly using the Lucha Libre style. He was part of the Lucha UK school, if I remember correctly, whose ship took off in 2016. But since 2019, he's become more of a power-based wrestler, a striker. And it's reaped a lot of benefits for him. Aside from 3 runs as the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion and 2 wins in the Best of Super Juniors tournament, Will has garnered a run as never Openweight Champion, won the New Japan Cup last year, and an IWGP World Heavyweight Championship run. And he's on pace, on his way to challenging, into trying to claim a vacated IWGP US Heavyweight title at Tentaku on May 1st. But to get that title, he's got to beat Hiroshi Tanahashi. But I'll do that. But I'll do my picks for Tentaku possibly at the end of the month. That being said, my pick to win this is going to be Moxley. On second thought, scrap that. This one is pretty tough to pick, so we'll flip it again. Moxley is heads, Ospreay is tails. Spinning and it lands on. Scrapped it and it still lands on heads. I'm going Moxley for this, though I wouldn't be surprised if Ospreay comes out on top. Now, I'm not going to bug Gabe to give me his picks because he's not that big into Japanese wrestling. But I'm at least hoping, old pal, you would consider watching this on Fight TV on Saturday. My partner on Gabe Has Sports, where we do our wrestling pick podcasts. Leave a comment, smash the like, sub to the channel. That's 2128 signing out. I must bid you adieu. Till next time, goodbye and good night. Bang.